morbidity management, we must know what are the activities which we have to monitor. There are two strategies which we told: that interruption of transmission by MDA, the morbidity management by home-based lymphedema, and surgical intervention. There is the inbuilt component of vector control management, because this is a vector-borne disease, and the area which is being continuously under the effect of vector breeding potential or living at the risk of vector infection, we must have integrated vector management strategy, either by cleanliness drive or by larviciding or by adulticiding or by use of mosquito nets. Whatever methods is feasible in that area, we have to have the integrated vector management. Now, we will tell that very important thing is to just check out what are the activities at state level, what are the activity at district level, what are the activity at the grassroots level for MDA. Now, state level, state task force meeting under the chairmanship of State Health Minister, then State Technical Advisory Committee meeting under the chairmanship of Director of Health Services or Director General of Health Services, wherever state they have. Then after the taking the meeting and decisions, there has to be instructions to be issued to the districts that these are the dates, these are the steps to be followed, and these are the strategies. Then training of all level officials, where you can always invite the experts from medical colleges and regional offices located in the state capitals of the affected states. There has to be monitoring of financial flow and its availability, which is now through National Health Mission, and that fund flow is very important. It should not be only on the demand base, rather it should be proactively ensured that the funds are made available. Then from the state level, the letters must go to the district collectors, because if they own the responsibility, the 90% problem is solved in the district, because they are the policy decision makers at the district level. There has to be instructions for line listing updating, there has to be instruction for IEC material prototype and its dissemination. If they can have some brand ambassador in the state, it will definitely help publicity. And then involvement of private and public medical doctors and paramedicals is very important, so they should have the instruction, because most of the time district people, they look at the state headquarters for the sanctions or for the advisories every year. At the district level, we must have 3 district coordination committee meeting as per the national guidelines. The first district coordination committee meeting under the chairmanship of district collector is to review and take the stock of preparedness and initiate the activities. The second district coordination committee meeting is just before MDA and start the press media briefing. Then the third is after the MDA to review the progress and take some action if required to go further and improve the coverage and compliance. Now, in the first and second meeting, the micro action plan of the district and villages and wards and the urban areas is reviewed, and any lapse is rectified. These processes are only to rectify an improvement and monitoring in a uniform manner. Then the most important thing at the district level activity is that microfile area survey, which is usually done from 8 sites, 4 fixed and 4 spot check sites in the district, 3 from rural and 1 from urban areas. From every site, 500 persons are to be examined during night time from 8:30 p.m. to 12 midnight, and then those slides are examined. This is just 1 month before the MDA. And this gives the impact of previous round of MDA, that where do we stand now. For morbidity management, hydrocele operation camps, it is usually done in identified CHC or district hospitals in addition to the routine operations. Then there has to be reporting format, and it should also be monitored that it is not delayed unnecessarily, because these reports definitely are required at the global level to be disseminated. Now at the district level, for the PSC to be sensitized, the distribution of operational guidelines on ELF for the medical officers, for the supervisors, for the drug distributors. There are different gateway folders, flashcards, all IC materials, interpersonal communication, drum beating, munadi, etc., which is feasible under local conditions in the local languages must be done. And when to start, how to start, where to start, and where from to start, where are the funds, all these things requires intense monitoring before the drug distributor team is formed and they are given the proper medicine with the proper communication. At the district level, there has to be pre-planning that which district is attached with which medical colleges or the private or hospitals or some research institutions for assessment of their performance, especially on drug compliance. There are set guidelines given in national guidelines for elimination of lymphatic filariasis. Those chapters can be used for help, and these documents are available in plenty. They are also uploaded on National Vector-Borne Disease Control Program website, which is www.nvbdcp.gov.in. I repeat again that the guidelines and the advisories are available on website nvbdcp.gov.in. Now, once everything is chalked out, in the last I will re-emphasize that what are the checklists for reviewing the ELF activities to have a better or improved performance. During pre-MDA at state level, first is availability of DEC, 2. Availability of albendazole, 3. Availability of funds, 4. Microfilaria survey during night time, 5. The finalization of action plan, 6. State level meetings. Next, instruction to the concerned districts to initiate the activities, and sensitization at state level, development of IEC material, and identification of nodal officer. Then at the district level, we must ensure the district action plan readiness, rapid response team formation, their place, where they will be available, their phone numbers to be distributed to everybody. The microfilaria survey conduct, district coordination committee meeting organization, media sensitization, drug distributor identification along with the team formation and supervisors, drug distribution program on area wise, the completion of line listing and mapping, and organization plan of hydrocelectomy camps. During MDA, we have got a very robust system that ASHAs, community health volunteers, health workers who have been identified for administering DEC plus albendazole, they should have the dose schedule with them. They should not deviate from dose schedule individual basis. Then ANM and health supervisors to monitor the performance of 10 teams. PSC medical officer should also monitor on random basis, but the movement should be recorded and known to the rapid response team or anybody who is sitting in the PHC or the district. District Health and District Administration to monitor, including the DPM, that is District Program Manager at NHM, for pre-designed activities plan in identified poor performing areas. The records can be taken from previous years where the coverage has been very poor and or the area has reported high microfilaria rate in spite of best efforts. Then the mop-up round plan and to extend if need arises. Then it can be extended till they achieve the coverage more than 85% or till the drug distributor is satisfied that he or she has been able to ensure that the people allotted to them have really swallowed the drug. Now, post-MDA checklist will tell about report compilation should be in time. The statement of expenditure, that is financial performance, must be sent within 20 days. Then apps, and we have got only 2 rounds left in 2014 and 2015. We must do some hard tasks and come out with local innovations so that we achieve this target. At least we should show that we are able to bring down microfilaria rate to less than 1% in all our districts and PHC, and we are ready to stop MDA. Thank you.